Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and we're going to talk about gaming and how it's kind of something that's really changed in it through the years, and how it's become this weird, I don't know, man, people have become this weird moral code that's entered it from with this younger generation of people that's so strange, right? It's almost like back in the day. Anyway, let's cue to music and then we'll talk about it. All right, it's like back in the day, the conservatives, the Republicans, so to speak, were always the ones to denounce things, whether it be heavy metal music, video games, that sort of stuff, because of imagery, sexuality, things like that, right? The lyrics in songs, the images in movies and stuff like that, album covers, video games, violence, things like that. But now it's the left doing it, and it's so strange. And the right's just kind of like, yeah, you know, it is what it is, right? It's good. As long as it's not really harmful, like to children, the right really doesn't care so much, you know. And the right's kind of separated itself from the, what would you call it? The fundamental religious right so much. And it's more just, you know, it's like, it is what it is, right? So, like, here we go. We got a game, Guilty Gear Strive, update censors, digital figure mode. Character models now vanish when viewing certain areas of the figures. In the latest instance of censorship to hit Guilty Gear Strive, a recent update to the Arc Sys fighting game has made it so that models in its digital figure mode now completely disappear if the player attempts to view them at a risque angle. Added to the game in early 2022, along with the release of Testament as a playable figure, Guilty Gear Strive's diorama-style digital frame mode allows for players to take various character models as unlocked via an in-game gacha-style minigame and pose them against various backdrops, which they can then screenshot, save, and share with other players. Upon its initial addition, players were allowed complete freedom to photograph their digital figures as they saw fit, particularly in regards to highlighting a given character's forward-facing and rear assets. Photos shared via the game's network features that were deemed to not safe for work by Arc Sys' own filters would be restricted from viewing by other users, but they could still be taken locally. However, this changed with Strive's recent version 1.41 update. Released on November 18th, the update not only brings with it gameplay adjustments and a new Team of 3 mode, but also a pair of puritanical adjustments to the digital figure modem, with Arc Sys having adjusted the display region of the camera so that when viewing certain areas of the figures via the camera, the display will be toggled off. To further support this change, the developers also added a new icon that will be displayed to indicate when the figure display is toggled off due to the limitations on figure display areas. In other words, if a player tries to get a lewd-angled look at any given character, male or female, as confirmed by Automaton Media's Carlo Zotomayor, the character's model will now completely disappear from the diorama until the camera is moved to a more appropriate position. Anyway, I'm going to link to this story and another one down below, but that's just one thing, right, going on right now. And it's weird because on one hand, you've got stuff like this, right? Stellar Blade just got a new camera mode, or a new photo mode. And if you try, and she also got the near Ottoman, or whatever it's called. I can never say that properly. I'm sorry, man. I'm so bad with that one. But the DLC, or the DLC outfits that come with it, and if you try to photograph her in a way that you're looking up her skirt, and I saw footage of this online, she kicks the camera away, and it's kind of comical. You know, it's very, very funny. Resident Evil 4, the remake, has it so if you try to look up Ashley's skirt, I believe in the original she kind of giggled at you or something, or you were able to do that, and now I think you're unable to do that, or I think they changed her outfit. Tifa in Final Fantasy VII, they covered her chest up a little bit. There's a lot of this like moral coverage of stuff going on like that, right? Here we got Mouthwashing devs. What's going on with this one? Okay. Mouthwashing devs respond after social media mob harasses multiple artists over Anya fan art. If you can't be respectful and be considerate, the fandom's not the place for you. So I guess this is like a little indie game set on a space, in outer space. I think it's some kind of horror game or something like that. And artists have been drawing the characters. You know, a lot of gaming fans like to do their own art, right? I see it all the time with Ark and all these other games. They do their own depictions of things, right? This is what the characters look like in game. She looks like Shelley Duvall. You know, I mean, really. I think they say that somewhere in here, and that's where I got that from. But it's not wrong, you know. Definitely inspired by that. But here you see somebody drew her. And here's another depiction of her and all that. But these depictions of her with a bosom are getting some backlash. This one particularly caught a lot of hell. And, you know, and made her apologize and all that. And Wrong Organ, this is the developer, came out and says some fan creators have been receiving harassment over works that others have found distasteful. If you see fan works that you do not like, block or ignore it. Any form of harassment is unacceptable. If you can't be respectful and considerate, this fandom is not the place for you. So, you know, it is weird, right? Like, when did everybody become these moral police? I mean, this is a video game character, right? They're not drawing a real life person or hurting anybody. You know, they're depicting somebody in their own little style of art. I mean, look at that. That's, you know, that's great. That's talent. I have no talent like that. I can't draw anything like that. You know, the only thing I could draw is flies if I don't take a shower for a few days. You know, that's talent right there. That's talent, you know? Fantastic. That's talent. I can't do any of this kind of stuff. You know, why attack them over that? Because they gave her boobs? You know? Now, on the other hand, we see this weird flip of the coin with games like Veilguard, which openly exploits sexuality, right? Dragon Age Veilguard. But it openly exploits a different type of sexuality. So, and if you look at the character creator there, you can't create a female with a large bosom or a large butt. But you can make a trans character, you can make a non-binary character, you can push this sort of thing. If you look at Baldur's Gate, you can make, and also Cyberpunk 2077, you can make female characters but give them male genitalia and vice versa. Interchanging voices that don't match the characters. You know, a lot of video games have body types A and B instead of male and female. So we're switching all that kind of stuff around, and it's like blurring the lines of reality, right? But they don't care about that kind of stuff. That's all just normal. But God forbid you take this character and you make her look like that, and you're a bad person all of a sudden, and they're going to harass you. And God forbid you take, you know, you try to take a picture of a character from a funky angle, and now it's going to disappear. I mean, when did this happen in gaming? It's so weird. Back in the day, go look up old gaming advertisements from like back in the 80s and so forth. You're going to see how sexualized they were. It's funny, you know. It's very, very humorous. I'm going to look some of those up one day, and we'll do a video. I'll feature some of those in there because they're freaking hilarious, man. Just how wild they were. And old games, you know, oh, they were terrible back in the day. God, they were so bad. Leisure Suit Larry and the Land of the Lounge Lizard. I mean, my God. Just funny stuff. There was that one game, the Custard game. I don't remember what it was called. By today's standards, oh my God, people would lose their mind if they saw that game. You know, and it's garbage graphics from like the very first age of gaming. But still, it's, you know, the premise behind it was just utterly terrible. People would lose their friggin' minds on it. But yeah, now all of a sudden everybody's like there's this weird morality in gaming, but it only covers so much. It's not like this blanket over everything, you know. They're fine with certain things, like the look of, I think the game was Hades, and the look of the gods in there and all that, because they looked a certain way, but they hated Stellar Blade because Eve looked sexy and had a big bosom and butt, you know? Right? It's weird double standard. I don't get it. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. When do you think gaming took this turn? I feel like it happened in the last 10 years. You know, that's what it feels like. It really shifted. I'm sure it's been moving in that direction for quite some time, but it feels like the last 10 years is when that shift really made its move. And that's probably when a lot of older developers left the industry and the millennials started to really start filling more and more positions within the industry. You know, that's when I started hiring more and more of these token DEI hires, that shouldn't be in these positions, you know, but whatever the case may be. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to ring that bell for notifications. As always, I'm Cat the Beefy with the Game Vault. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace.